Hello. Okay, so we're starting a new book. That's always exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see it. Oops, there it is. All right. So this is Zoe and Sassafras, Caterflies and Ice, story by Asia Citro, pictures by Marion Lindsay. And this is a series. This is book 4, but we don't have to read the other 3 first. Picked this one because there's a winter theme. The prologue. These days, my cat Sassafras and I are always desperately hoping we'll hear our barn doorbell. I know most people are excited to hear their doorbell ring. It might mean a present or package delivery or a friend showing up to play. But our doorbell is even more exciting than that because it's a magic doorbell. When it rings, it means there's a magical animal waiting outside our barn, a magical animal who needs our help. My mom's been helping them basically her whole life, and now I get to help too. Spring Snow, Chapter 1. A shower of powdery crystals glittered in the air and fell on my face. Brr, I grinned. Snow is awesome. And this snow was especially awesome because it was a surprise spring snow. I thought it would be almost a year before I saw snow again. As I bent down to grab another armful of the powdery white fluff blanketing the lawn, I heard a thump behind me. I turned to see a little orange face smooshed against the window. Woof. Poor Sassafras. He hates water. And because snow melts into water when his warm kitty paw touches it, yeah, he pretty much hates snow as much as I love it. Woof. Thump. I trudged over and put my hand against the window pane. Inside, Sassafras raised his paw to the same spot. Hmm. Wait a minute, Sassafras. Let me find my thinking goggles. There's got to be a way for you to play outside and not get wet. I ran off to our barn and peeked inside. There they were, next to some of my mom's old science journals. I grabbed my thinking goggles, pausing for a moment to run my hand over a photo in one of the journals. My mom's notes said the creature in the photo was a fweep, which is very fun to say. And I could feel its soft as silk fur through the photo. I smiled. The photos of magical animals always amazed me. Mom gave me my own camera, and I'm allowed to take one photo of each magical creature I help. I like to add them to my science journal with my notes, because every photo saves a bit of magic with it. It's a great way to remember the sweet magical friends I've made. I popped the thinking goggles on my head, made sure they were close to my brain to give me awesome ideas quickly, and ran back to my poor sad cat in the window. Chapter 2. Snowshoes. Sassafras saw the thinking goggles on my head and perked up. Now I just needed to think. Hmm, maybe making a snow angel would help. The cold snow tickled the back of my head as I swooshed my arms and legs back and forth. The first idea that popped into my head cracked me up. I could put Sassafras inside a giant plastic ball. As he walked, the ball would roll and his little paws would never get wet. Okay, maybe he wouldn't go for that, but it did sound pretty fun. Good one, thinking goggles. I giggled as I finished making a snow angel. I stood up and brushed myself off, and a tiny bit of snow dust sneaked its way into my boot. I shivered. A second solution popped into my head. Ooh, I like it, I exclaimed, and then ran for the kitchen door. I left my boots by the door and ran to scoop up my cat. Sassafras, I have a plan, I told him. He purred and bumped his head against mine. We just need to ask Mom for some help, and I think we'll be all set. Ask me what? My mom said as she entered the room, leafing through the mail. I have a great idea. You know how Sassafras hates the snow? Mm hmm. I'll make him little tiny snowshoes. That way he can play in the snow, but his paws will stay dry. I put my thinking goggles on, and after the first idea, I remembered that Xander's dog wears little Velcro snowshoes when his family hikes in the snow. Hmm. Mom wrinkled her nose a little. Do you think he'd wear them? I looked deep into Sassafras's eyes. Sassafras, if I make you snowshoes so your paws won't get wet, will you wear them? Sassafras looked deep into my eyes. Then he licked my nose. Mom and I both laughed. Can we try making them, Mom, please? Okay, let's give it a try, but don't be upset if he won't wear them. I promise. Do you have any waterproof fabric? And I can help. And can you help me with the sewing machine, please? I smiled sweetly at my mom. She grinned back and waved for me to follow her. Let's see what I've got in the hall closet. Thankfully, we won't need much material. Sassafras has such little paws. I set Sassafras down and we both followed Mom. Huh, Mom said as she rummaged through the fabric scraps. I'm not seeing any waterproof fabric in here, and I only have a little bit of Velcro left. She held up a tiny square. Oh, Velcro would be perfect, but that's only enough for one shoe. I don't think he'd enjoy having to balance on one foot. I have to go to the grocery store anyway. Why don't we make a list of supplies you need and I'll make a quick stop at the fabric store while I'm out? Thanks, Mom. I gave her a big hug. We made the list and Mom left. Sassafras curled up in my lap and I sketched a few different cat snowshoe designs while we waited for her to get back. Then we heard it, the magic doorbell. And that's where we'll pause for today.